Hi guys, it's Clara. Welcome back to my channel. This video is this week's grocery haul. I'll be sharing also our meal plan for the week in addition to how I am prepping for this week's dinners. So this week's grocery haul is a bit small only because some of the groceries that I had bought last week I am bringing into this week. So if you're new to my channel, I typically will do meal plans based on either what was on sale that week or what was on sale the previous week. Also, I am following a nutrition plan called the WHOLE30, which is, there's a lot of information about that online, but basically it's whole foods. But even though I'm making meals that are geared towards that, family members who are not following the WHOLE30 still enjoy those meals as well. And then sometimes for them, I will bring in some non-WHOLE30 items like some rice or a side of pasta, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's begin. I bought some green onions or scallions, as some people like to call them. The sliced beets were still on sale for 49 cents, so I got a couple more cans of those. Oh, and in the back here, I bought these last week. I'll be incorporating these into this week's meals, the spaghetti squash. And I think I'll do this tapenade first. I'll be using this with some chicken breast. Pineapple was still on sale, and I was so excited because last week's pineapple was, oh my gosh, it was so delicious. Almost like candy, which is kind of bad, but it was still so good. So I got a couple more of those. These are really very ripe, so I'll be cutting these immediately. Bought another thing of mushrooms, some bananas, some oranges as well. I like mixing the oranges and the pineapple with some berries. So I think I have one more thing of blueberries in the fridge that I can use. A bag of pears. This will be for snacks, and also I'll be incorporating this into a chicken entree this week. A thing of celery, which I'll be incorporating into some soup. Some cauliflower, which I'm going to see if I can rice this, meaning blend it or chop it into really fine pieces so that it's kind of like rice. Make a dish out of that. Also in the sale and clearance section, they had a thing of extra virgin olive oil. This was super inexpensive, so I'm so glad I found it. I might actually go back next week for another container. This week, instead of the grapefruit flavor, I bought the lemon flavor of the sparkling water. This is a dupe for LaCroix. I bought a dozen more eggs. And these were on sale. These are the Fit and Active Vitality cereals. One is with red berries, one is vanilla almond. This is not WHOLE30 approved, but it'll be for my husband. This was on special this week. It's an eye around roast. I'm going to try to make a pot roast in the crock pot. I've never done that before, but given that this doesn't go bad until February 8th, I probably will incorporate this into next week's meal plan. Just because I have some chicken left over from last week to incorporate into this week. The 100% grass-fed ground beef, I'll be using this to make kind of like a beef and broccoli kind of thing. Just a little bit over a pound of chicken breast. This will be split between two different dishes this week. One will be with the tapenade, and I'll save a breast for another dish. All right, so let's look at this week's meal plan. We will have a salad tonight with roasted pears and chicken breast. Tomorrow we'll have the chicken olive tapenade with some spaghetti squash. I'll save half of that spaghetti squash for the next day to turn it into kind of like a garlic aioli, which is basically with garlic and olive oil. I'll be leaving out any cream though, just because I can't have that on the WHOLE30. And that will be with some roasted Brussels sprouts. Wednesday and Thursday we'll be having a beef and broccoli with scallions kind of thing. That'll be a top of cauliflower fried rice for me, and it's fried rice in quotations because it's not really rice. But for my husband, it'll be on regular fried rice because we have some leftover rice that's been sitting in the fridge that I can turn into fried rice. And then Wednesday, I'll also be cooking the soup for Friday and Saturday, just so that I don't have to cook Friday and Saturday and it's all set to go. So Friday and Saturday will be that soup, and I'll be incorporating some leftover boiled chicken that I had from last week. In addition to that, I might put in some acorn squash that we had from a few weeks ago. I just never used it, and it's just been sitting next to my toaster oven, so we might also incorporate that as well. All right, so let's look at the prep. So first for the prep, I'll be putting some of those chicken breasts that you saw into kind of a marinade into a plastic bag with the olive tapenade, and I'll just kind of massage the chicken breasts with the tapenade, and those will be baked tomorrow. Then in the oven, I'll be roasting some Brussels sprouts, and I'll be roasting the pears. While that is going, I'll boil just 4 eggs for lunches this week, and also to have on hand just in case I need a quick breakfast out the door. After that, I'll be doing a bunch of slicing. So slicing some onions, mushrooms, a bunch of veggies like bell peppers and carrots. Those will mostly be for the soup and perhaps the stir fry. I'll be chopping some broccoli for that as well. And then hopefully by then or close to then, the Brussels sprouts and the pears that had been in the oven will be done. And then I will be baking the spaghetti squash at that time so that we can eat it tomorrow. And hopefully at this point the eggs are boiled, and I'll be peeling those boiled eggs so that they're ready to go for the week. The one thing that it's missing from this week is baked potatoes. We still have some leftovers from last week, so I'll just use those this week as far as incorporating those into omelets and scrambles, that kind of thing. All right, so that is it for the meal plan for this week. If you have tried, as always, any meals that you have been enjoying, especially if they're Whole30 compliant, I would love to know. And if you have made pot roast before and would be willing to share some advice for next week, I would love to hear. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.